Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Highlights from Lowlifes on the Mic'd Up app. There we go.
We gotta have the song.
Well, you were a little slow in the draw. You forgot.
Who's the director of this thing?
Normally he's good at pushing our buttons.
I think Brent was the director, wasn't he? We can
Take
blame
two.
him. He's not here. As you can see, we're up to full speed now. We're revving to go. This week's episode, our favorite in-game promotions, celebrations, entertainment, activities, however you want to classify it. What we saw during the game that wasn't actually part of the game that was a lot of fun and we remember it. As you can see, we are missing our fearless leader, Rob Weber. He is on assignment. Thinking of you, Rob. With us, we have Tiger Terry Lee, Mr. Robbie Wannerman, and Marty Brown. Remember, you are watching us on the Mic'd Up app. See that little red microphone down at the bottom of the app? Click that. You can leave us a 30-second message. Tell us your favorites having to do with our topic today, or tell us what you're drinking. Give us a critique on what we're saying. Make fun of Marty's tie. Whatever you want. Go for it.
Hey!
And if you run out of
It's a Warner Brothers tie.
Very nice.
if you run out of time on your little recording, just stop and go do it again. Do another one.
Like you will hear in our comment section later on. We have a couple of people that left, 5, 6, 7. They just can't shut up.
It's Tony Romo all over again. Oh, my God!
I see 2 to 3 from each of our callers. And we thank you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Follow our show on all of our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube page. We have all of our old episodes up there. Check them out. You'll enjoy them. And with that, I think we'll get the ball rolling. We'll start with Marty, number 5.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. All right. In stadium promotions, events, you want to go to the minor league ballparks because they're the ones that have to be the most creative to bring in the fans or something like that. And I think Jeff was with me that night at Memorial Stadium in San Jose with the San Jose Giants. It's a Class A. And the promotion, and again, Jeff, I don't remember things very well, but they brought out an old van or truck and brought it down the right field line.
It was like an old Cadillac, one of those big old boats.
Right. Yeah. And the promotion was the guys to take the ball and throw it at the front of the vehicle to see if they can break the headlights.
Yeah, first one to break a headlight wins.
Right. Okay. So everybody said, all right. Now, here's the memorable part. They couldn't start the vehicle to get it off the field.
This was between innings.
Yeah, right. They had to delay the game to figure out how to get this bloody thing off the field. It never figured out until later on if they did hit the headlight and it broke the head. What were they going to do with the glass all over the field? I don't know. But I think they finally went, and again, it was years ago. I think they wind up pushing it off the field. I think they get it off.
A whole bunch of players went down there and started helping push.
So it wasn't. So that was kind of a memorable promotion that went a little sideways that night.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Terry, your turn. Number 5.
All right, number 5. Well, you've seen it all the time. You sing along with this song all the time, and they've altered they fill in the lyrics between the real lyrics. And I actually got to go to Fenway Park a couple of years ago and sing Sweet Caroline, and it was a blast. The whole stadium sings it, bum bum bum, and it's great. It's great fun. You look around, you go, wow, they really do that here. and it's it livens it up, and then they sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," so it's really fun. Jonesy,
Very nice. Yes, Marty, that one was on my list too. That
Oh, I'm sorry.
that was a memorable. That was a memorable. I knew I should have called you and said, okay, which one of us gets this, because it's always in our stories.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So I'll go with another minor league one. This is always one of my favorites. You get two dads from the stands,
Yeah.
and you get them at a starting line, and there's a finish line somewhere down wherever they arrange it, and you give them a bat.
oh
And they
yeah,
have to put their forehead on the bat and spin around 5 times, and then try to get across the finish line.
it is hilarious. That is one
And
of the funniest things.
It's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stand up, bam,
Oh.
down.
Yeah, I think they do it at home plate, and all they have to do is run to the pitcher's mound. And
Yeah,
they barely,
or from home
make
to
it.
first, or wherever
Yeah,
the case may be. And
it's so funny.
yeah,
Two,
it's awesome.
two grown adults just falling over.
That's right.
It's awesome. That's a great bit.
All right, Robbie.
All right, not my number 5. They did it in the days after they took the turf out at Candlestick. They had AstroTurf. Remember, they were grass for a while, and then they put in turf. And for 2 or 3 years after they put the regular grass back in, they would bring out on the doubleheader days. And we always bought doubleheader games because we were cheap. You get 2 games for the price of 1.
No, thrifty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But always in the summertime, they'd get the Frisbee dogs and bring them out there between games. And I don't know, I always loved watching that. Those guys would stand at home plate and throw them out to deep center field. And those dogs would just glide along that grass and then leap up in the air and catch the Frisbees. And there was always something about that resonated with me. So yeah, Frisbee dog days at the Candlestick were awesome.
Very nice.
That's fun. Those are great times too.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you try it at home with your dog. So you get out there, throw the frisbee, and he just looks at you and runs back in the house.
Yeah, he pretty much like,
All right.
go get it yourself.
Go get it.
What are you looking at me for? You're the one who threw it.
Why'd you throw it so far? Says, you got a pretty good arm. How come you can't do that on the baseball field?
Yeah, well, wait.
Now, come on.
I think that's it for round 5. I
That's
think we've
number
covered
5.
it.
Yeah.
So, Robbie, pick somebody to start number 4.
Marty, why don't you go?
Okay. And I apologize if I'm going to step on everybody else, so I'll do this briefly. So, but in Washington, there is a race that goes on involving mascots. In Milwaukee, we were present one day where they were doing their bit. But if you look behind me here, they do something special in my local jurisdiction here with the Reno Aces. They have the 4 Aces race. You had, and their cards, they're the Ace of Spades, all 4. Okay, and they do that every night, and now it's usually kids that are in the high school or junior college kids that are inside the little suit and they go running up. So I want to I watch who gets in there. The girls don't get involved so much, but the guys really do, and they'll crash into each other and knock each other into the netting around home plate. It really can be kind of intense. But if you may know, Reno's kind of a gambling town, so never bet on the Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades always loses. I think it's rigged. Actually, I really don't know. But but anyway, it's so number 4 is the Racing Aces of Reno. That's
nice.
Yeah.
The Reno Aces, I thought, was also related to the airplane. The what is it?
The Reno Air Races.
Reno Air Races.
Yeah.
As far as ace pilots,
Uh-huh.
but this is more of a gambling.
It's the cards themselves.
Deck of cards.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Jeff.
There's a new one going around that I kind of like, and I see a lot of videos from it, and it's mostly They mostly do it. The videos I've seen are at hockey games, and it's the celebrity lookalike. Well, they will put up a celebrity on the jumbotron
Oh,
and show them for a couple seconds, and then put the camera on somebody in the audience that looks like that celebrity, and everybody gets a good laugh out of it. And it's how the person reacts to being on camera, or whether or not they like the comparison. I thought that was kind of funny, just a nice little briefing of celebrity lookalikes, and they usually do a pretty good job.
so if they were to do Robbie here, they'd go Santa Claus. Robbie.
No, I was thinking like Kenny Rogers, the gambler.
Kenny Rogers. Oh, you got to know when to
Yeah, I'll
hold
take that over Santa Claus. Yes.
up. Oh, sorry, Saint Nick. Got to know when to hold up.
I'll
Know
send
when
it
to
to Robbie
fold up.
again.
All right. Number 4 for me is, I used to love this too, and it's gone away. Now it's reunion days. We'll bring back the 2010 championship team, but I used to love Old Timers Day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
When
sure.
you'd go and they'd have like a 3-inning exhibition game before the actual game of all the old timers, and sometimes even like if the Giants were playing Pittsburgh, there'd be a bunch of old Pirates guys there too, and they'd play the game. But it was just a great way to go out and see Willie Mays and Willie McCovey again, or for someone younger like Jeff who never saw them play the first time, you actually got to see them a little bit swing the bat, and just it was cool. Old Timers Day was great. It was a lot of fun, and the players always seem to be happy, and they're sending out autographs and and everything else. And now it's gone to these reunion things. It's just not quite the same. So I always loved that as a pregame entertainment thing, the Old Timers Day.
I agree. And
Yeah.
that one YouTube video we always used to pull up was Luke Appling hitting the
Yep.
home
Yes.
run. Just this
Oh,
old man barely walking up to home plate, just taking the first pitch and crushing it over the wall.
and,
Yeah,
and the walls were not moved in or adjusted.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
hit the bloody
Yeah,
thing
he
out.
was 75 years old too at the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. That was
Yeah.
Well,
incredible.
these guys are superheroes, honestly. You play at baseball camp, you play against the pros. These guys are not messing around.
Yeah.
No.
And they get
Yeah.
mad when you walk them. They're like,
Those competitive juices are still flowing.
I'm not
Yep.
walking.
Okay.
McCormick,
Go ahead.
Mike McCormick. I pitched to him. He got mad at me because I was afraid to hit him. He's almost 80 years old, and
Yeah.
and he stood in there like a pro, honestly, and he swung away.
Yeah. I had Mike Moore, and it's inappropriate for this time, but what the heck? Mike Moore was for the A's, and he was part of that 2-man team that beat the Giants in the World Series with Dave Stewart. So I'm in the batter's box, and he throws the first one right past me. I didn't even see the bloody thing. Second one was a curveball, and I fouled it off. So he says, "Okay, Brownie, here comes the changeup." So what does that changeup do? It's off speed, so it's going to die. So I'm looking at the bottom of the plate, and he threw it right across my chest. That son of a...
No, when I was
Sit down, meat.
what I was talking about was I was pitching to Mike McCormick, and he wanted to hit the ball. And
Yeah.
he was mad because I walked him.
Yeah.
He didn't walk, and so I started throwing it a little closer, and he finally he teed off on me, actually.
That's one of the funny things about the fantasy camp, though. We're getting off base, but they're running it. So if they want to change the rules, they'll change the rules.
That's right.
What are you going to do? Say no? Throw a damn strike.
Hey, who's up next? Is that Terry?
I think, Terry, let's get back on track here. I think fantasy camp
Why?
talk was a couple weeks ago.
All right, I'll shut
What
up
the
now.
heck?
Okay.
All right, my number
All right.
4. I actually got to go to Wrigley Field and sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game"
Yep.
with my best friends and at the Cubs. It was really great.
I thought you were going to say your best friends and Marty.
Jesus.
Oh,
God.
was Marty there?
Wow.
Yeah, you guys were walking over me. I was passed out on the floor. Don't you remember?
All right. Hey, what you drinking?
I believe that brings us to
What you drinking?
What you
I
drinking?
was waiting for the
I
theme
was
song
waiting
this
for
time.
this.
How about a theme song?
We got a theme song coming. I mean, I can do the old thing, but we got a theme song coming. So
Oh, we do.
we do have a what you drinking theme song coming.
Oh.
But as always, this slow motion car wreck of a show called Highlights from Lowlifes is sponsored by Almanac Brewing. Almanac Brewing in Alameda, California. They have been really gracious with us, giving us beer and letting us wax rhapsodic about their beer brands.
Oh, wow.
Each week we all, sorry, Marty, look it up.
Okay.
They're one of America's premier craft brewers, and as we do every week, we all drink kind of different beers from Almanac, and quickly let you know what we're drinking. I'm still in the lager series, the Porch Light Lager, really refreshing, full flavored, moth on the label, which is an indicator that, like a moth to a light, you'll be drawn to this beer. It's like walk
Oh,
by.
again? Okay, all right.
So, what you guys drinking?
Well, let me tell you, I'm drinking the Almanac Flow West Coast Pale Ale, and it's surprisingly refreshing.
It's a good beer.
It is a good one.
Yeah.
Good to see you're in the flow.
Yeah. I've got the Kolsch. It's a staple of all of us. It's what you go back to when you need a good beer, and it's a true Kolsch, not just some artificial Kolsch. It's a true Kolsch. And I think if you go back and look up in your German language, Kolsch means damn. This is good stuff. So thank you, Almanac.
Tried and true.
Yeah.
I'm renaming it. It's no longer true. It's tried and true.
Tried and true.
We should just hook you up to an IV right from the tank.
That's right.
Just bypass the bottling line and just feed the needle.
Well, thank you, Almanac. We appreciate it. Go by and see them when you're in Alameda. Tell them we sent you, and maybe they won't kick you out.
No, not right away, but they'll get a check.
They'll run a tab up and kick you out.
Terry, you finished the last round. Pick somebody to start the next round.
Oh, well, Marty, how about you?
Okay.
Give it
The
a
next
start.
one, change the jersey. Monkey, come on. Do you guys have this problem with your interns? Come on, let's go. Come on.
Yes,
hold on,
yes.
I have to do this
My
myself.
imaginary
All right,
intern doesn't
all right.
listen to me.
They can't. They can't catch a frisbee either. Oh, that
We
was
got
All right, so
production.
we're starting now. All right, okay, all right. Behind me is the jersey for the Spokane Indians. It's a Class A team with the Colorado Rockies. And what makes these guys different, and again, it's because they went to the Spokane tribe in Spokane, Washington, and said, "This is your team. The team is here as a tribute to you. So you designed the emblem, you designed the jerseys, you designed everything, and this is what they come up with." So I don't know if but it says Spokane in the back in the language of the Spokane Indian tribe.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so they do a great job, and with a tribute to the Indian tribe of Spokane, which is the way it should be, not like those other organizations. But we'll leave that for a little later. Rob, get me the hell out of here.
Hey, okay. So before we go on, we did get a couple of what you drinking calls, which is great.
Ah.
We
Oh,
love
great.
it when you
Let's
interact
go.
with us.
Hey, sounds like a discount for drinking nothing but the tried and true Kolsch.
I couldn't hear it.
Do you get a discount for drinking nothing but the tried and true Kolsch?
Yeah, they keep giving us them for free.
And then one more came in too. JC.
What you drinking? JC here. I tried a couple of different ones. Luminescent Quasar, which is Abnormal and Almanac Double IPA. It was decent, but I always come back to the regular, true Kolsch. Just too good to pass up. Cheers, boys.
Nice sound
Cheers,
effect.
JC.
We are
Thanks for
we are
calling it.
not
Cheers,
wrong, are
JC.
we?
Yeah, are we single-handedly keeping Kolsch in business here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's funny because their best-selling beer is a hazy IPA. It's all around the country. It's really popular. It's highly rated by the critics. But yeah, people love the Kolsch. People love that Kolsch. So okay,
Marty handed it to you,
Yeah,
Rob.
you, Rob. You're up,
oh
Rob.
yeah, okay. So similar to Terry, I went on a trip back there several years ago with my family, and then did it again with you guys, as you know, last May. Before Chicago, we went up to Milwaukee, and I'm not talking about the sausage race, which is world famous, but the roll out the barrel, the singing of roll out the barrel. That was
Yeah,
just something that it's so much fun, and they love it there, and it means everything to the fans there in Milwaukee. So standing up and singing that polka and trying to slur through the words after after all the beers we had at the brewery before and then at the game and everything else, it was just a lot of fun. And yeah, so that stands out to me as a real fun attraction. So when in Milwaukee, roll out the barrel.
Very nice.
Nice.
Yep. So
We'll have a barrel of fun.
Jonesy.
Going back to the minor leagues, because you won't see this in the major leagues anytime. Anytime they plant a character in the grounds crew or umpires crew that is not supposed to be part of their mid-inning shtick and ends up being part of their mid-inning shtick. So you usually got a group of people going out to dance during the break, during the intermission, and they're getting all busy and going on, and they try to get the umpire or the grounds crew involved. It's like, no. And then he just busts out, busts all kinds of moves.
No, I'm too shy.
Yeah. No, I got a job to do over here. I can't be part of this. Oh, okay.
Then he turns into Dancing with the Stars.
That's right. I always like that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Terry.
All right, number 3. A lot of us have been watching these. It's a race. It's been going on for 30 plus years. It's in Lodi, California. It's the corn dog race at Tony Zuppo Field.
Yes.
I think that's there's a baseball tournament. It's been going on for 30 years plus, and because of the pandemic and because of an accidental fire, we've had to miss a couple weekends in the Tony Zuppo Field. But for some reason, our friend Richie
Thomas.
Richie has come through every year, and the corn dog races, because of Shirley, the corn dog lady.
Yes.
Right.
We've had corn dog races every year. It's a great time.
Yep.
As you
Rob?
guys know, Terry's referring to since we all play baseball together, we do an annual tournament in Lodi every year at Tony Zuppo Field, where the Lodi Dodgers used to play in the Single A California League. But yeah, they had corn dog races back then, and we've carried that tradition over into our league tournament game. So it's a lot of fun.
And we
Watching
have
little kids.
little kids in the costumes, and we got
Yep.
a corn dog, and we got a ketchup, and we got a mustard, and they do a little race around the infield between innings, and it's always awesome.
Now we have a remodel, and it's starting. The baseball park's looking really, really nice.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Robbie,
I think that's
did you go?
that's
Or
it
is
for round
everybody
3,
gone-
right?
Everybody
got it.
done
We're
speaking?
doing great. All right. We're
Terry, pick us out to start 2.
Jonesy, go ahead.
All right. Let's see. Which one do I want to? So we've talked about the racers. So I'll do my contribution to the racers. Marty already kind of hinted at a little bit. I like the sausage run, and I like all these different things, but my favorite, and something my son mentioned to me, because everybody who knows me knows my son's a big into mascots and all that kind of thing. But the big head presidents in Washington,
Oh yeah.
absolutely awesome. They did such a good job on those heads, and they look so great. And they got the
Yep.
presidents running, and they're pushing each other, and they're each race, they're, they got a little side story in them. Some two of them will battle for some reason, for whatever that is. That's always, sometimes they'll get, a player involved, or a grounds crew, a planted grounds crew again, or somebody will get involved. So it's a lot of fun. And my son reminded me that this past Christmas, they got the big head presidents on stage in a version of Nutcracker.
Really?
Which
Oh,
had to be
that's cool.
hilarious to get them into a theater, onto a stage, on and off the stage, out of the wings and onto the stage. That must have been a hilarious sight
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah, describe the size of these characters.
So I would imagine that about their neck would be where the person inside's eye hole would be. So body up to about here, their neck is about here, and then their head is about
3,
a
4
good
feet.
5-6 feet on top of that.
Yeah,
it
they
could
have to be
at least
seen.
4 feet. Yeah,
They have to
Yeah.
be seen up on the third deck of the stadium.
Yeah.
So,
I know the A's, the Oakland A's, or
yeah.
formerly Oakland A's, have some big head racers of some guys, but the quality is nowhere compared to the Presidents ones. Those ones are just phenomenal.
Yep.
I'm going to throw it back to Terry.
Oh, back to number 2.
Yep.
Okay, so here's something I witnessed in Kobe, Japan. The Hanshin Tigers, on their 7th inning stretch, they do a balloon release. Everybody in the stadium, 25,000 people, have got these balloons. You buy the balloon, you blow it up, and they're probably 4 feet long, right? You blow them up and you hold on to it, and they do a countdown. Everybody lets the balloon go at once. So you see 25,000 4-foot balloons just it propelled itself up into the sky. It is absolutely hilarious, and it's a sight to see.
Nice.
It's awesome. And you guys, you go to Japan, you got to go.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
sure you participate in the balloon release. Because you run out of breath trying to blow the damn thing up, but you get about 3 innings to blow it up. Everybody's turning blue. It's really, really fun. Marty, number 2.
Number 2. This one, if I explain it to you, you'll understand why it doesn't happen anymore. But it was a minor league ballpark in Vacaville. The team was the Solano Steelheads. They were around for 2, maybe 3 years, which was unfortunate because it was a fun little ballpark and they played decent baseball, had a good time there. But sometime during the game, they would have the steelhead toss. They would bring out 2 plastic kids wading pools, just that comes about a foot high and about 3 feet wide, and they put 2 of them out there, and the contestant would stand in one, and they would literally give the contestant a big dead fish. No, this was a steelhead, big dead fish, and the contestant throws the fish into the other wading pool. And the winner is determined by how many fish you can get in there. Now, could you imagine that going on in a ballpark these days? Throwing giant dead fish through there. This is not Seattle. Sorry, this is not the Pike Street Market.
I was going to say, it's Seattle might maybe,
Yeah,
but
but I thought it was terrific. And again, these minor league ballparks have great promotions. They're really ingenious. And that one that always stuck with me. That was the Solano Steelheads, and this was like 2000, 2002, so it was a while ago. But yeah, so the dead fish toss, that was
nice.
that was very memorable. Go ahead, Rob.
All right, my number two, the first minor league game I think I went to outside of, well, I'd gone to a few in Sacramento when they were here back when I was a kid, but outside of anywhere nearby, the Iowa Oaks in Des Moines,
Oh,
Iowa. And
wow.
at the end of the second, fourth, and sixth innings, they'd get a bunch of kids out of the stands and they do a greased pig chase. They grease up the pig and then just let
Let the
chaos
kids-
ensue. It was unbelievable. Kids diving all over the place, and he's like, my dad's like, "You want to try it?" I'm like, "Let me just check this out first." And I watch all these kids run around, and they come back and they're just all slimed. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll pass. I don't need to do this." But they chase it, and it was amazing just watching these little kids run around all over the stadium trying to catch this greased pig as it slithered away from them, and it got into the dugout at one point, and the players are jumping out and the whole thing. So yeah,
How many kids? How many pigs?
there was at least 10 kids on the field and two little greased up pigs.
Funny.
And apparently it was the second, fourth, and sixth, or second, fourth, and sixth innings. At the end of each of those innings, the kids are out there and away they go. So,
Funny.
and I'm not sure you won anything either if you actually caught the pig. You just great, thanks for entertaining us. Get out of here. So the greased pig chase at the Iowa Oaks game.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I like
I think
it.
those are popular at rodeos and
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah,
county
I've
fairs.
seen a
Yeah.
couple. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And now baseball parks.
Yes. Well, I think that wraps up round 2. Robbie, would you do us the kind favor of telling all the good people some of the shows that we have on the Mic'd Up app?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're watching us live, and you should be, I mean, why wouldn't you? We are here on the Mic'd Up app where you can interact, press the mic button, and leave us a message. The great thing is you can do it with some of the other shows that are on here, and there are a number of good shows. We have Yankees Coast to Coast, that's a total Yankees dialogue each week where they talk about everything Yankees, whether it's past, current, whatever, future even. They'll go into anything around the country that has to deal with the Yankees. There are a couple of hosts, Mike Miller and the other guy, and they both live on opposite sides of the country, so they give their unique perspectives, and that it can be a lot of fun. And like we like to say about that show, all 4 guys that are on the show at any given time will be yelling and screaming at each other while they're agreeing and all saying the same thing. So just for that part alone, it's a great show to watch. Jim Darby has a show on here. He wrote a book called Bears and the Bigs, but he also was a executive with Mizuno and Easton Sports for many years and was in their athlete division. So he worked on signing a bunch of different athletes over the years to use their equipment. He's got a lot of great stories involved with that. So that's a really interesting show. We have the Sports Hall of Fame show from Florida. They talked to a number of guys and gals, for that matter, from the Florida Sports Hall of Fame. And there's been some really interesting shows. Obvious things like Wade Boggs, and I think they had Gary Sheffield is coming up as one I saw, and they have a gold medal swimmer on this week. Some of those people, there was a lady that navigated the Pacific Ocean herself, like over a 17-day period from California to the Philippines or someplace like that. It was a really interesting show. So there's a lot of interesting things out there with those guys. So check that one out. And then Jason Demers from the Sharks. He has a Q&A show. He's the pre and post game show guy for the San Jose Sharks, and he does a lot of question and answer shows with about the Sharks. And there's a lot more questions than answers right now. But
Jeez.
but he's out there and he's interesting, and he really likes to interact with the fans. So that's a fun show. And last but not least, Rick Barry, Hall of Fame basketball player Rick Barry, has a show on here where he gives his opinions about anything and everything. He's pretty authoritative and knows his stuff. And if you want to talk anything basketball, past, present, future, he's a great guy to listen to. And that's another fun show. So there's a bunch of other shows on here. Dig into the app a little bit and check it out.
Are you saying that a woman swam from where to where?
No, she sailed solo.
Oh, she sailed.
like a Hobie sun cat. Like
you know what? I would have stopped at the first bar.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting a little too much sun. I need a.
And I admire you for that, Terry. I really do.
Yeah, thank you. I'll meet you there, Marty.
You got done.
Well, thanks for the rundown, Robbie. Appreciate it. We are on to round one. I think Robbie finished it, didn't you?
I did.
So why don't you pick somebody to start it?
How about Marlon Cooper?
Oh,
All right.
One of Marty Brown's must be Dollar Beer Night at the Sioux City Explorers.
So I'm just going to leave it there for the moment. We'll go into the backstory in a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that got in there at an appropriate time. So, Terry, why don't you start off round one?
Okay.
I think we end with Marty just so we can tag that story onto whatever his number one is.
But his number one is beer related. I'll give you that.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I am just old enough to remember when the Oakland A's came to Oakland from Kansas City. They brought the donkey, for one. Their mascot was a donkey.
Mm-hmm.
And they also installed Bugs Bunny's cousin Harvey.
Yep.
Harvey was a basket on top of a bunny's head that came out of the ground, and the rabbit spun around with his eyes blinking so the umpire could fill up his baseball bag with new balls. every so many innings, Harvey would come out of the ground, spin around, umpire would walk over, fill up his baseball bag, and Harvey would stop, go back underground, and a flap would close. I'll never forget that. I was just like, that is just the greatest thing for kids, and I was a kid back then. Okay, older kid, but yeah. So anyway, the Oakland A's, Bugs Bunny's cousin Harvey, baseball basket, and anybody who remembers that, call in.
I had heard that story. I had heard the story about the basket and coming up, but I'd never heard that it was the A's. That's funny.
It was the A's. Well, it used to be at Kansas City A's. They brought it with them and installed it in Oakland.
Nice.
When it worked, it was amazing.
Yeah, I never saw it not work. I mean, if it didn't work, nobody knew because it probably didn't move. Jonesy, how about you?
So I literally just thought of one that I completely forgot about. And I'm going to make it my number one because I love it so much, and I can't believe I didn't think about it earlier. Back to the minor leagues. A famous name in minor league baseball entertainment, Max Paxton.
Mm-hmm.
He was the clown prince of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
He had this really goofy look, and he wore his uniform oversized and really big, and he would just do goofy things on the field during and in between innings. You know, he would play the first base coach, and he'd make all these funny gestures and signs, and he'd mimic players and mimic the first baseman as he's doing warm-ups, and just that classic old school physical comedy clown.
Yeah, clowning, yes.
And
yes.
If you don't recognize the name Max Patkin, he is the guy in Bull Durham.
Bull Durham.
Yes.
In the bar scene in the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they got a couple of shots of him in action during the movie.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my number one. And that's a good thing because my other number one probably is going to get mentioned by somebody in this group. So I'd be surprised if it doesn't.
Did you actually see him live?
Oh no. No, I wish I could have.
Is he still alive?
Oh no.
Oh,
He's been gone for a while.
Gone for a while, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was He
Probably
was
was big in the
retirement
40s.
age during Bull Durham, so
If only they could find somebody named Max that wanted to do mascot training.
Oh, I wonder. I
Huh.
wonder.
Somebody could learn improv. Yeah.
All right, Robbie, you got to go next because Marty's last.
Yeah,
Oh,
Marty's
no.
got to bring this home. I got to know what happened in Sioux City. So I have 2 or 3, and I think I'm going to push them off as my honorable mentions, only because I remember the old days of there was no entertainment between innings. There was nothing like that. You sat in the stands and the organist would play some, Sweet Caroline or some random song, just play a song you knew, but played it like only a baseball organist can play it. And you just sat around and
Cheesy.
talked to everybody around you about the game, or you watched the guys warm up and take their infield throws and all of that. And I have fond memories of that. I really miss that, where I'm not being bombarded by loud music and lights and the scoreboard blowing up and kiss cam and all those other goofy things. I really miss that. You're there at the ballpark for the baseball game, and the organ's playing, and you're just talking about the game with people. And yeah, to me that was the best entertainment of all. So I'll be
That's fair.
sentimental and close with that. So we can go into Marty's Sioux City soliloquy.
I'm gonna kill her. That was anybody, but that was my sister. And we would, for years would go to the College World Series in Omaha, and 90 minutes down the road is the Sioux City Explorers in Sioux City, Iowa. And we had an old family friend that ran the ball club. And it so happens my sister, through her business experiences, had friends that lived in Sioux City and were season ticket holders. So when we got there and went to the ball games, between knowing the manager and the friends, we were just treated like royalty. To the extent that they would have, like I said, minor league ballpark, so there was always some promotion. So all of a sudden they say, Marty Brown, you're doing the golf promotion, and then the next inning, Gordon Cooper, which is my brother-in-law, you're doing this. So it was an all set up, and then of course then there was dollar bill now. Dollar beer now. I can't even say it.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
He's having flashbacks.
That goes
fork out the
without
beer.
saying. Actually. And it was a small town. And after the game, everybody would go to the same pizza place. And so there was the manager of the team, there was the ball players, there was the fans, and it just, I mean, we had to drive back to 90 minutes back to Omaha, but we closed the place because it was just perfect. The players were there, the manager was there, everyone was just talking baseball and crazy stories. It was a great time. So, yeah, it was a great memory. And my sister got in trouble with the manager because she said we went to the game and she told the manager, who was part owner of the Sioux City Explorers, which was the name of the team, that you had a cute ballpark. Oh, I thought he was going to rip her head off. Don't call a ballpark cute. Whatever. Well, thanks, guy. I'm going to appreciate you having me last again. Thank you, Jeff. You're the host. Take it over. Let's see what other people have to say.
Yeah, let's hear from some of the comments. Robbie, you want to do them? You want me to do them?
Either way is fine by me. You look like you're leaning in.
I will start with. I guess I got to start with Mike Miller.
Oh.
Come on, anytime.
Michael Miller here, Yankees Coast to Coast on Mic'd Up. Basketball. During the game, they play music and use the loudspeaker. During play. What a waste. It's horrible use of the PA system. Let the players play. Let the fans hear the play. It is a horrible, horrible thing.
Way to go on your favorite entertainment there, Mike.
He clearly misunderstood the assignment, but that's the kind of quality entertainment you can expect on the Yankees Coast to Coast show right here on the Mic'd Up app.
And not just that, he had a follow-up.
Oh, no.
The single worst use of the PA and entertainment at any arena, any stadium, is always when they put the make noise, get loud, and then the sound bar on the screen just to get the fans to scream. You know what? Too artificial. Let the fans be fans. Let them do what they want to do. Make noise when they want to make noise. What a load of crap that stuff is.
And again,
But again,
make sure
Mike,
you
tell
know.
us your favorite.
And that's what you get from Yankees Coast to Coast. That's the latest day. Tune in.
You know what else you get? Another follow-up.
And lastly, not to be a total negative Nelly,
Too late.
recent implementation and use of sing-alongs during halftime, commercial breaks, quarter breaks, in between periods seems to be a lot of fun for the fans, even though I can't sing and refuse to sing. And that fact is good for everybody around me. Nobody needs to hear me sing. In fact, most people don't even want to hear me speak. Right, Robbie?
Yeah, we can all agree with that final line.
Hey, do you want to take a shot at the name, or do you want me to say it?
No, I want you to say it.
All right. Once again, one of our loyal listeners has called in, Ezra von Mermelschwanz. I love that name.
Ezra von Mermelschwanz coming at you from Yankees Coast to Coast every Thursday night at 7 p.m. I have three favorite: the running Presidents at Nationals Park, the running Brats, Kielbasa, and other meat byproducts in Milwaukee, and surprising to many, in Fenway Park, the singing of Sweet Caroline, even though they sadistically beat me for wearing a Yankees cap. I did enjoy, even though those piles of pus really tried to ruin the moment.
Piles of pus.
To take a happy moment and make it into a negative.
And I do want to emphasize the quotes around meat in those meat products.
Meat byproducts.
Meat byproducts.
Ezra's back.
Could be good use for spam.
Ezra back for the worst. Yankee Stadium, hands down the least entertaining park in America because they could care less about you having fun. They just want you to spend more money. The idiotic subway racing that annoys, and obviously the half-hearted wave that starts when pie holes are filled, and the instant gratification generation lacking in coping skills has nothing better to do.
Again, I think the Yankees missed the assignment.
Well said. Yeah, missed the topic there, didn't you?
Lost in translation?
Top 5 ballpark attractions you have witnessed. Okay.
Yeah, top 5, guys. Top 5. Guess what? Our good buddy, Big Juicy.
Hey!
One of the best entertainment memories I have goes back a few years to those seasons of 2010, 12, 14 when the Giants won the World Series. The late inning sing-alongs, Don't Stop Believing and Lights. A number of those games, the sing-alongs were led by Steve Perry, Journey's lead singer. He was in the stadium, in the stands, leading the rest of the attendees in these sing-alongs. The energy was incredible.
It was fun.
Good point.
Yeah. And a follow-up.
Probably the best entertainment value I ever had was in high school. I went to an Angels game with some high school buddies. And it was a doubleheader, but not your normal doubleheader. Watched the Angels play the Cleveland Indians in the afternoon, and then afterwards, that same ticket got you into Disneyland. It was a private party.
Wow.
The Disneyland folks cleared out the park at 7 p.m., and then those that had the tickets to the game had the run of Disneyland. It was great.
Wow.
Where is that special, and how do I sign up? Jeez.
No kidding. I could tolerate an Angels game for a couple hours.
Sure, there you go.
Just buy Angels tickets, skip the game, and go straight to Disneyland.
One of our favorites and former guest on this show, Mr. J.C. Penney.
JC here For me, the best ballpark experiences are minor league parks. That being said, number 5, Miller Park with Bernie and the home run slide and the sausage races. Number 4, Oracle Park. A lot of fun times. And I always loved the right field wall of rubber chickens for walks in the Bonds era. Number 3, the Big A. Great place to watch a ball game. Plus, I saw God there wearing a number 10 jersey by the concession stands in the outfield.
Wow.
All right, I don't get it. Does anybody else get it?
God, we're at number 10.
I
What's Otane's number?
I'm not sure what that
is. That Angels in the Outfield, Marty?
Oh, that could be. Yeah.
The remake?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It could be. Yeah.
JC, call back, please.
Hey, we got Big Juicy's got follow-ups to his.
JC, continuing, number 2,
That works.
Sutter Health Park, River Cats. Saw a lot of great players on rehab assignments, Gregor Blanco, Madison Bumgarner, Hunter Pence. You can get a beer fairly easily there. Great place to watch a ball game. Number 1, Banner Island Ballpark. It's all about the hang, the annual Stockton Ports Yacht Cap Day and Wednesday Silver Sluggers games. All a blast.
Yeah,
Good time.
There's the yacht cap.
The yacht hat.
Yeah, we have to do an honorable mention because I'm going to bring up Banner Island, but it's okay.
You wanted to say something about Big Juicy?
Big Juicy sent in a couple of responses already about our Disneyland.
That was in 1967, Jeff.
Yeah, so I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, that's why you were just born.
And the tickets were $5 each.
$5 tickets for
$5.
Disneyland and a ball game.
A double header on top of that.
Dang.
Oh,
hey,
JC,
there it is.
follow up.
Guys, JC here. I saw God. This is a guy in an Angels uniform with God on the back of it, and number 10 was the number he was wearing.
Wow.
Is 10 could be the 10 Commandments or something?
Yeah.
I guess so.
All right. Robbie, I'm going to need your help with this one. Can you translate this? Or do you want to just skip it altogether?
You know what? Let's just play it because it just could be the ramblings of a drunk woman.
Here we go.
Party to tag on to your, aces. When I was visiting back in Nashville, they have at the National Town Minor League, they do a Johnny Cash, Reba McEntire, and Dolly Parton race, but
Okay, well, something about the Nashville Sounds.
So
maybe we can get her to call back in if she's listening and leave that
for
message
those
again.
not on the app who can't see the comments, the way it was transcribed was Barbie on back in Nashville 18 butt. All right.
We're having a Vonnie, if you call back, you need to talk closer to your microphone. We're getting a little bit of echo. Sounds like you're in a cave. We can't understand you completely. But please call back.
To close us out, we're visiting Marty's sister again.
Number 5, Proto Candlesticks from Candlestick Park. Number 4, Dollar Beer Night from the Sioux City Explorers. Ask Marty. Number 3, Sox game at the A's where they only gave them out to kids 12 and under, and my girlfriend and I got them, and we were over 20. Number 2, the Memorial Cup from the Spokane Chiefs. Again, ask Marty.
Yeah.
Number 1, the Pilot's bobblehead doll that I still own from 1969.
She does indeed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's called the Memorial Cup when you win this minor league hockey league. Spokane won it. And when the guys carrying the cup around, if they win, they broke it in half. The cup was on a platform. So it was the damnedest bobblehead I've ever saw. They came out the opening night. They had it with a bobblehead with the cup going wah, 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 because the guy broke it while running around there.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see it at the Bobblehead Museum. I thought it would work.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back. Where was the Bobblehead Museum, Marty?
I was drinking that day. I don't know. Milwaukee?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Ah, got it.
And just a short walk from the hotels.
Oh,
Another couple blocks.
Oh, come on. You
Somebody explain the Bobblehead Museum.
Does anybody else get picked on as much as
not the one in San Diego.
So if anybody happens to find themselves in Milwaukee, there is a great bobblehead museum there. It's not very big, but they have a whole ton of bobbleheads of all kinds of different.
It's not very big, but they have 10,000 bobbleheads rotating.
Yeah, it's really cool from every kind of sport and pop culture reference and movies and TV and everything you can think of. People donate their bobbleheads to this museum, and it's really cool, and it's definitely worth the time.
Short, convenient walk from Broken Bat Brewing,
Yeah,
which is a baseball-themed brewery right there in the heart of Milwaukee that has an indoor wiffle ball stadium.
Yes,
and good beer.
And great beer, yeah.
It makes
almost to Almanac level.
It makes a great doubleheader for a day.
Yes. Yep.
Well, that'd be a triple header, right? The Bobblehead Museum, Broken Bet, and a game.
Oh yeah, we did a game that night.
Oh yeah. Back to Marty's sister one more time.
Uh-oh.
Gordon Cooper has 2. The dot race at the Cal game when our kids were the dots. Our daughter refused to get off the field, and the umpire had to take her off the field so they could resume the game. And number 1, Dodger Helmet Weekend back in 1975.
Dodger Helmet Weekend?
Don't ask me.
Kind of like a Dodger helmet thing. They don't do anything fun.
Yeah, no Dodgers. No Dodgers. Oh, we got a follow-up.
So what I was saying, at the Nashville Sound Minor League Park, they do a Johnny Cash, Reba McEntire, and Dolly Parton run around the bases. Only on the night that I went, they added the Nashville trash can on a program trying to get Nashville to keep Nashville trash off the streets.
I get it.
Well, if they were keeping Nashville trash off the streets, they wouldn't let Robbie in there.
Hey.
Thank you, Vonnie. We heard you much better. That was.
Vonnie, they trashed somebody else on the show besides me. Somebody else gets a shot besides me. Thank you very much.
All right. Marty, what's your honorable mentions?
Honorable mention was Survivor Banner Island at the Banner Island Ballpark in Stockton. It's the single A home of the Stockton Ports and the Oakland A's. It's a great ballpark, and we used to have those tournaments there, and we played the game. It was in the fall, and then there was a bar beyond the stands, but you could look down onto the field. So the bar was open, so I had a beer. Football was on the screens above me, and I was watching the ball game out in front on the field.
Wow,
There's only one word for that.
Perfect storm.
Nirvana. Nirvana.
Yeah, you smell like Teen Spirit, all right.
Jazz hands.
All right, okay, don't be pissed. Just because I didn't pick up your tab. Fine, just be that way. Fine, okay.
Robbie, what you got for honorable mentions?
I've got one, and one of the features of the ballpark here in San Francisco for the Giants is the McCovey Cove out behind the right field wall. And I don't think they've done it in a while, but they used to have Lucille on a paddleboard against other fans or people that were out on the sidewalk, and they do a paddleboard race around in the cove. And ultimately, people were knocking each other over, or they skim their boards right over the top of other people. So any kind of chaos like that's a competition, I gotta like it, right?
Yes.
So yeah, the paddleboard races in the cove with actual paddleboards and the mascot in costume racing people is great. I love it.
Very nice.
Fun.
Terry, you got anything?
I have one. If you ever go to Japan, go to a professional ball game. They have a tradition there where they separate the bleacher section, and that is the section you want to be in, but you can't because it's always sold out by the locals. The left side has the visitors, the right side has the home team. They split it right down the middle, and they have actual cheers that they practice during the game, and it's so much fun.
Nice.
You go to a pro game if you go to Japan, and check out the bleacher area. It's super fun.
Japanese baseball is definitely on my bucket list.
Yeah.
I got
What about you, Jonesy?
I got a couple of them. The one that I thought everybody would have that nobody really had, was in the minor leagues, the beer batter.
Oh, yes.
There's always one person designated from the other team, from the visiting team, and if they strike out, beer's $1 for the next half inning or whatever the promotion is. And you always see the dads sitting on their edge of the seats with 2 strikes,
ready to run,
wallets in hand. They're already getting up, ready to go. And you see this mass exodus. Strike 3.
You know, when the guy hits a weak ground ball, the booing is amazing.
Oh yeah. And then, of course, you know, we've talked about him, but my son, I can't leave this conversation without mentioning some mascot stuff. So he wanted to mention Mackerel Jordan, which is a mascot that looks like those costumes that are inflatable, they pump air into them and they blow them up. It looks like a giant fish thing. I can't even explain it, but they call him Mackerel Jordan for Michael Jordan. And he goes out and he does weird stuff on the basketball court. And one time he ate the referee. Just swallowed him up. And then, tons of different mascot stuff. You got the chicken, the famous chicken, and all that fun stuff.
The WKRP carp.
The WKRP carp. But the most recent one, which I think we've mentioned on this show recently, was the new Pop-Tart. And for those that didn't see it, Pop-Tart sponsored one of the college football bowls this year.
Yeah. Right.
And they introduced the Pop-Tart at the beginning of the game. He came out and big Pop-Tart, and they gave a big promotion for him, and they followed him throughout the game. And they said there was a special event at the end of the game for the winners. At the end of the game, they took him, set him on top of a giant toaster, put him down into the toaster and toasted him, and out came the side of this fake toaster was actual cooked Pop-Tart, which all the players then went in and started eating. So they created, killed, and ate the mascot all in one night.
So that's like a real Soylent Green scenario.
Oh, wait. We got one more comment.
I've got an honorable mention. It's the Savannah Bananas. The whole team, the whole game is nothing but entertainment. It's great.
Yeah.
Yes, if you haven't checked out Savannah Bananas, pull them up on YouTube. Check them out. A lot of fun.
Yep.
I think we've killed the night, haven't we?
We did it again. How do we do this? How do we keep doing
Somehow we finished the show.
I think Almanac's almost like an energy drink.
On that note, thanks again, Almanac. We appreciate it.
As always, thank you.
Thanks again to the people at the Mic'd Up app. We appreciate you tolerating us to put on our little show. Thank you to the listeners. Again, one shout out to Mr. Rob Weber. And we will see you here next week, Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Topic to be determined.
Thank you, callers, too.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you to our fans. Have a good night, everybody.